Judge Linda, and this is the Sister Girl Environmental Club TV show. Today, our topic is electricity and the environment. A little bit about electricity is that it's invisible, and it's a naturally occurring force that can be seen in lightning or in the shock that you sometimes get when you touch metal. Electricity offers numerous conveniences, but it can also harm the environment and increase health risks to people. So I'd like my plaintiff, can you please introduce yourself?
I am community activist Jones.
Thank you.
My name is Marilyn Chase, and I am a homeowner.
Okay. And Ms. Jones, can you please tell us why you're here today?
Judge, you know, I'm so aggravated, Judge, that I had to sit down. Thank you for the chair. I love you for your kindness, Judge. I'm just so stressed out about the situation, Judge. You know, you got a tissue? No. You know, I'm just, let me just make it plain to you. She is using an over amount of electricity. When I say an overabundance amount of electricity. I don't know if you ever walk down a street or a block or at least our neighborhood, and you can hear not only her TVs going on, you can hear mostly the music going on. So I can hear the news passing her house, or even being in my own house, I can hear the news, I can hear the music, I can hear the radio. That's how much stuff she got going on there. I'll just start with that because I got so many tidbits. I got to like put a pin in each thing. Okay, so I'm just going to start with that. First of all, she just got too much use of all of these electricity appliances and stuff, and she knows it.
Well, what do you have to say to that about
Well,
that, Ms.
first
Chase?
of all, Your Honor, I'm really cannot understand why she's concerned about what's going on in my home, okay, without knowing why I have all these things running in my house, okay? If I may explain myself, if it's okay with you, okay?
You must be don't know who I am.
No, I know who you are.
No, you don't
activist.
know who
Yes,
I am.
know
No,
who
you
are,
don't know.
But let me explain why
Well,
I have
go
all
ahead.
these things running
Nobody's
in my
stopping
house
you.
as you walk by my house, okay? First of all, as I said, I am a homeowner, okay? My husband and I breed Chihuahuas, okay? If you know anything about, which is a small dog, it's a short-nosed dog, okay? Those types of dogs tend to, they're very sensitive to heat, okay? And where we keep them, they're sensitive to heat, whereas they have breathing problems and they tend to have respiratory issues, okay? So where we keep our dogs, we have to keep them cool, okay? So I have to keep my air conditioner running 24 hours to keep my dogs cool, okay? I also, Your Honor, am taking care of two elderly sick family members.
Come on, ain't nobody sick in there. The dogs
Respiratory
run
issues,
faster than me, Your Honor. The dogs run faster than me. He got his own private, come on, who gets an air conditioner for a dog?
I have family members who are sick.
What?
They're on respirators.
I don't remember nobody in there. When did you
well,
wheel them in there?
When was
Because
the last
I
time
didn't
you
see
were
that.
in my house?
Come on, I was in your house.
I'm taking
She got a
care of
TV in the
two-
bathroom. She got a TV in every room.
Elderly family
I
members.
mean,
okay?
who can watch that much
They
TV?
both
How many
have-
rooms can you be
Can
in
I
at one
speak?
time?
May I
Okay, well,
speak,
go ahead.
Your Honor?
Please let
I'd
us
like
speak.
to
We
let
got to
us
clear
speak.
this up.
I'll let you
I'm
speak
trying
after,
to.
but I'd like the
I'm
defendant to
caring
explain.
for two elderly family members who have respiratory issues, okay? I have to keep an oxygen machine running, okay, constantly 24 hours a day, all right? I also need to keep their areas cool, okay? Now, in taking care of these two elderly and infirm family members, I have an excessive amount of laundry. I have bedding, I have towels, I have clothing that I must keep clean every day, okay? So I had to purchase a commercial washer and dryer. I don't know if you know about that.
I know about it. I
have,
saw when they delivered it.
Thank you. It's,
You know?
it's beautiful.
Yeah, I know
Right.
it is, but
So
that
have
humming
to-
sound, I mean, if
have
you paid
to
that much, it
wash
should be quiet
the
when it's
bedding
running.
and their clothing and their towels and all the things that we use to take care of them. I have to wash them every other day. That's why I use the commercial
it's not
dryer.
every other day. You know it's every day.
Every
you know
other
it's
day.
every day.
Sometimes if the bed linen gets soiled,
How many
I
towels
have
can
to,
they use?
I have to wash
How
it.
many
Have you
sheets?
ever taken care of my family members?
I don't know your family like that.
Have
I
you
know
ever,
you.
Have you ever
No, but I
soiled?
know you.
Have you ever
I don't know your
cleaned?
family like that.
Well,
I
you
got
know what? I
compassion
take
for,
care
for
of my
the elderly.
sick family members, and I don't want them laying in soiled sheets or using dirty towels or wearing soiled clothing. So I have to keep it clean. I have to keep the air in their space. They can walk around the house. I have to keep my home cool, ma'am. Now, as far as my TVs, guilty as charged. All right, because I have two elderly adults in the house who, whenever they may find themselves, they can watch TV when they want to.
Come on, in the bathroom? What you trying to look at in the bathroom? You trying to really get things going.
Do you know how sometimes...
You know you trying to get things going in the bathroom. You know I want to be gross in the... You know how you trying to get things growing in the bathroom?
They are in the bathroom
you don't need no TV.
For over 2 hours.
2
okay?
hours? You better look on them.
Over 2 hours.
You better check them out.
Okay,
They're in there 2 hours?
I'm saying that in the bathroom
Is it a buzzer in
with
there
the
or something?
home attendant or
home
either
attendant?
myself
No.
being cared for the 2 hours. We do not rush them to bathe them. We do not rush them. Everything is at their leisure, depending on how they feel at the time, okay? So while they're in there, if having the news or Jeopardy on is going to make them more comfortable, we have the TV there just in case.
Global warming. Global
Now, Your Honor,
warming. She got to care something for the planet.
I am not against the planet.
You acting like it, I don't know.
Let me just tell you.
All right, well, go
my
ahead
husband
then.
and I are very conscious about the environment and the ozone layer. We have looked into, and I'm not sure if you're aware of this, activists, we have looked into purchasing solar panels for our home.
That was
I didn't
my
see
next
you at
question
any
I
of the
was going
meetings
to
or
ask.
anything, so I didn't know you were into all of
Yes,
that.
I'm telling
you didn't act
I
like you
am telling
was.
you right now, we have looked into purchasing solar panels for our home. We are well aware of the amount of electricity that we consume, but we also are aware that we are not wasting the energy that we use for our home because we have need of it, okay? So now the next phase would be to find a better way to supply energy to our home and also not hurt the environment.
Well,
Yeah,
that
but
was my
In the
next-
meantime, like I said, we have looked into
Well, how
it.
long you going to?
All right. Well, we have run into some problems, okay? First
A
of all,
lot of them.
we
Problems
have
such as?
found out that our roof is not as strong as it needs to be, okay? For the amount of energy that my home consumes,
You
okay?
use too much stuff, I told you.
The solar panels would need to cover both sides of the roof, as well as some backyard space, some additional space, okay? The backyard space is not the problem. The roof is the problem, okay? So now we are in the process of getting our roof repaired, okay? We've just had some other home improvements done. We're paying those off. You may be aware that roofs are not cheap, Your Honor. All right, so we are working very hard to try to be approved for a home improvement loan so that we can repair this roof so that we can purchase the panels. We do already know the type of solar panel package we want to purchase, but again, the roof on our house at present cannot sustain the panels.
If she knew all of this, Judge, then I wouldn't have had to bring her in the court. If she knew she had panels and all that, she didn't act like she had no panels. I didn't hear nothing about the roof leaking
have them yet,
or the
activists.
problems or anything like that. No, but if she didn't come to none of our meetings that we have, the block knows all about you. They heard the music too.
We were not
they
able to
heard
attend the
the
meetings.
Yeah, but they heard
But
the
we
music too.
We heard what went on with the
well,
meetings.
you-
I don't know what
What you
music
mean
you're
you
referring
heard?
to.
From
We heard
from
we
all the
heard,
rooms. All the rooms got radios. All the rooms got TVs. All the rooms got air conditioning.
Order.
You said you don't
Ms.
have no
Jones.
money. I think you got some money somewhere because you
Your Honor.
it's cold up in that piece when I went to your house. Please,
Your
went to
Honor.
Wonderland. Went to Wonderland.
Well, I don't know
Yeah.
what home what home you're
Yours.
referring to. You've
Yours.
never been in my house and
I've
was
been in
cold.
your.
Would
You
you
know
like
I've
to
been in
tell
there. How
us?
you know?
Ms.
That's how I knew all the stuff was
Ms.
there.
Jones,
I
order.
think you're mistaken.
Um,
As far as playing music in our homes, I don't know if that's a crime now, but is
Well,
that,
I can
is
hear it
that
as long as
outside.
it's above
I can
a
hear it
certain-
outside.
if it's above a certain decibel level, then yes. you
okay?
can-
If
you
it's
can
above a
get
certain
tickets.
decimal level, and if it's after a certain time of day,
Yes.
I'm well aware of that, Your Honor.
And I am
but at the
also
same
aware
time,
that-
I do not recall ever being having the police officers come to my house saying anything to me and or any neighbors complaining about the sound coming out of my home. So I don't understand what the sound has to do with my use of electricity.
Well,
I
can
got
tell.
compassion. We could have been over there. We could have been a mob over there at your house, but no, we trying to give you a chance. We tried to give her a chance, Judge. I'm sorry, Judge, you wanted to talk. Go ahead, Judge. You go ahead, Judge, because I'm tired of hearing her anyway. Go ahead, Judge.
Give me a chance to do what? I've already told you what.
I'd like to tell you that, you know, this is one of the reasons that going to your community meetings is very important, because I am aware, because I work with this community a lot, that you have, after 8 o'clock, I believe it is, you can be having very loud music, especially because of the different varieties of people. There are, as you said, elderly people in the community. There are children in the community. There's everybody. It's a big family pretty much. And, you know, you can't be having like loud music or distracting people. Maybe someone's trying to study. Maybe someone's trying to read. Maybe someone's trying to sleep. So if, you know, if your music is loud enough to be out of your house, then I'd imagine, first off, it's not very good for the elderly.
Not after 8 o'clock, Your Honor.
You don't play music after 8 o'clock?
Not loud enough for anyone to be disturbed.
She got 2 elderly people in there. If she said she got 2 elderly people in, I don't see how it was all that loud. But if I could hear it outside or in my house, hey, just ask the neighbors.
That's a very good point that the activist just brought up. I do have 2 elderly family members in my home. I do not blast music. Okay? It may be loud enough for them to hear. They do have hearing problems, but it's not blasting to the point where it's disrupting the neighborhood. No.
All right,
and
they got hearing problems?
Not after 8.
We don't got hearing problems. We can hear it.
Well,
not after 8 o'clock.
Well, at least it's in the community guidelines. But again, being a part of this community and, you know, going to the meetings and going to events, I know you all have block parties and things like that. That's when you can play music and, you know, be with everybody. But, you know, if you were going to these events, then maybe today's court date wouldn't have had to happen, because you would have been able to talk and say that you're trying to get solar panels. Maybe the community would have helped you. Maybe they could have, you know, gotten loans. Maybe you could have met somebody who works at the bank so that you can be more environmentally conscious, because solar panels are one of the best ways that you can, like, conserve or at least lessen the environmental impact of what you're using in energy.
Yes.
For example, I know that you're probably able to, but some people simply aren't able to use solar panels because it wouldn't benefit them. You know, some people just don't make enough energy. But people like you who do make enough energy, you know, if you're using solar panels, that means that you're going to be able to help the environment, especially for those who can't or aren't able to, or just simply not advisable for them. So, you know, these solar panels are a really good step. And I'd like to thank you for trying to make this environmental step forward. So, Ms. Jones, you said that you weren't aware of the solar panels at all?
No. She didn't mention or say anything about the solar panels. I mean, that would have helped us out a little bit, because, you know, the neighbors across the street and the neighbors on the sides of us, they also, you know, had issues, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I guess with her pulling all this energy too, I don't know if the lights went out in the block, or I don't know if it was her, but we thought it was her. You know, we all was, you know, when we were whispering or talking enough for her to hear it, that's what we think that it was. So much, you know, energy pulled there or whatever it was, you know what I mean? I mean, she had so much electricity going, I started to plug something up over there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't know, but the lights went out and it stayed out for a couple of hours on the block at one point, and we all did think it was her, you know what I mean? I mean, we just thought it was her, you know? I mean, nobody else is, we all together on that block, and we try to make her together on the block. So if she would have came to the meetings or, you know, been a part of, you know, we could do this stuff together. Nobody want to lynch mob to her, but she got that museum at the house going on with all the TVs and all of this different stuff going on in there. You know, it's just too much for us. And we just don't like it. Our block was always peaceful and always, you know, some of the elect and the elite practically on this block. You know what I mean? Some been on this block for years, and we never had an issue like this. Just never. So,
well, Your Honor,
yes,
as I already had said to you, regarding 2 things. Regarding my not attending the meeting, okay, first of all, I'm not going to stand here and allow myself to be made out like I am not part of the neighborhood, nor do I choose to participate in neighborhood meetings, okay? That's incorrect, okay? That's incorrect. First of all, the last meeting that I was not able to attend, I was in the emergency room with one of my elderly family members, okay? We were in the emergency room. the night of that meeting, and we were not able to attend. We really wanted to attend that meeting. We could not attend due to a family medical emergency, okay? Like I said, I was able to hear what happened at the meeting, okay, through another neighbor, okay? Now, going back months, my husband and I have already decided that we needed to do something about our energy consumption because of the simple fact of our bill, okay? We do not need the neighbors to tell us how much energy we use, okay? We get our bill every month and we see it for ourselves. So months ago, we have made this decision. We must do something about it. We must find a way to manage this bill, to do something that's going to help us be able to have an affordable energy bill and at the same time still maintain the electricity needs we have in the home. And that's when our exploration of solar panels first came up months ago, okay? When we had a person from the solar company come out to look at our home, that's when it was determined that they could not put the panels up because of our roof. We knew we needed a new roof, but we didn't think it was that serious enough that it would keep us from putting the panels up. So then we had to table the solar panel project because now we need to focus on repairing the roof, okay? Months ago.
So what's your progress?
We've been aware of this for some time now, so this is not something that we're trying to avoid or act like it's not an issue. And again, we're not trying to be against the environment and or our neighbors. We are community people as well, and we are very concerned and interested in what goes on in our own community. But at the same time, we still need to run our home. So this is what the case is, and when people pass judgments without really knowing the full story, it's not fair, Your Honor, okay? I am well aware of our energy use, and I know we need to do something as quickly as possible, and we're working on it.
Okay. Well,
communication is the key, all right? Communication is the key. If she would have communicated, this would have been nothing.
Well, I would have communicated it to whoever it is you feel I should have communicated it to. I would have, but I didn't know that there was a lynch mob brewing in the neighborhood. We were not aware of that. None of our neighbors ever came to us and said, we came upon this on our own. None of our neighbors ever came to us until I was asked to come here today and said, you know what? A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. No one ever said that to us. So we didn't know that a lynch mob was brewing in the neighborhood against us regarding our energy use. We didn't even know. We weren't aware. So yes, I guess communication, had that been communicated to us, we would have been like, oh, well, wait a second. We didn't come to the meeting because our Aunt Fran was in the hospital that week, and we are working on our energy use. Months ago, we know we use a lot of energy. So we didn't know. Again, you're right. I guess communication. So had that been communicated to us, we would have very well told whoever was concerned that we are aware of our energy consumption. Well, and that we're working on it.
Your friend that was the spy you said that told you about the stuff, she ain't told you about the other stuff? Because if she's telling you one information, she should have told you all the information.
I wouldn't call the neighbor a spy.
Whatever she is to you, no, it's all right. Whatever she is. Was she a relative? A good friend of yours?
It's a neighbor.
That is a good point.
It's a neighbor. Okay, in passing.
Okay.
I asked her, in passing, I said, oh, how was the meeting the other night? I said we weren't able to attend. Aunt Fran, we had to take her to the hospital emergency room, and she told me what happened at the meeting. I said, okay, great, that's good. So when I heard all the good things that are being done and concerns, I was like, okay, well, it made me realize that my husband and I we're right along with everyone, and I just went on my merry way because I knew we were already working on it. I didn't feel the need to run back and say, to defend myself and my home to my neighbors was something that I was already doing. I'm well aware of our energy consumption. We pay the bill.
Well, I would like to ask you about, e-waste is a big topic in the environment because, especially in New York, there's a lot of e-waste like companies, there's a lot of organizations and things like that. But when your appliances, like say if you need a new oxygen whatever you use,
Yes.
or a new AC or something like that, how do you get rid of your old items? Do you like kind of put them in the front for the garbage to pick up, or do you kind of just like leave it somewhere? Or
Well, we have we have central air.
okay.
We have central air, and our central air unit is relatively new because we had to find a unit that could cool the whole house. We can control the cooling in each room, but it basically is set to cool the whole house. So we haven't actually replaced that. We have a service maintenance a contract on that, which if that unit ever was to break down, they would come and remove it and replace it with another one. So that's how that would take place if that ever breaks down. As far as the oxygen machine that my elderly family members use, again, that's under contract. So if those machines ever break down, they would be replaced and removed by the company that services them.
And to have and a great idea, because you know the company should know how to properly dispose of your e-waste, and especially since you can't simply put out your appliances because the garbage or recycling or nobody will really pick them up. E-waste is pretty much like the definition is waste consisting of discarded electronic products. This can be computers, televisions, even your cell phones. It can be batteries because you know you can't throw batteries away. And when these electronics end up in landfills, especially since you know a lot of companies may not care as much, or simply because they may not think that it's as important to actually properly put them away, they will put them in landfills, and they're not really supposed to be. They're supposed to be in their own place, and they can have toxins like lead, mercury, and anything like that. Just very toxic materials go into soil and run off into water. And you know, I've always talked about this, but it's really a butterfly effect, because if there is something going into the soil and into the water, and it goes throughout the entire ecosystem, you know, we're eating fish from this water. We're eating the plants that were grown in this water. So it's really like a long-term effect that not many people think about. So if you're, for example, if you ever used an AC, then you know the coolant sometimes drips down. If maybe it's an old system or something's faulty, the coolant is very toxic. You're not supposed to be drinking that. So it can affect the animals in the neighborhood. I know this neighborhood's animals aren't doing so well because of all the environmental injustices happening. So, you know, it can affect the neighborhood. If you have plants or you have flowers, it can affect that as well. So, you know, make sure that you have to, you know, if you ever, this is for future use, especially since you're using all of this electronics, then, you know, make sure you're properly e-wasting. You can call 311 or go to your councilman and get them, you know, to ask them, you know, communicate, go to your community meetings and see how you can get rid of your e-waste.
Thank you for saying that, Your Honor, because actually I do have some TVs in my backyard. Now, as far as getting rid of air conditioners and medical equipment, you know, I know how to dispose of that, but I actually was going to put the TV out in the front. I wasn't aware
I'm glad
that
you didn't do that.
I'm
real glad.
I wasn't aware that there's a proper way to dispose of those types of electronics. So I, again, am conscious of our environment. I don't want to be the kind of resident or homeowner who does not do the correct thing with the kind of appliances. So I am going to call 311. And I'm going to find out, I'm sure there might be a list of other ways to dispose of things. I'm going to make sure that we get that list in our home so that going forward, there may be something in my home such as paint or some, you mentioned, I think, car batteries, right?
Yes.
Batteries, and my husband does a lot of work on cars. So those things I never thought about. So it's good to know. You know, I guess this is the silver lining in this cloud that I didn't want to come here today, but in fact, there is some information that I need to get and to be more conscientious about how to get rid of waste the correct way. I am going to call 311. I'm going to get the list, and I'm going to make sure that I become a better neighbor to my neighbors, and also we're going to really try to move our roof project along so we can get our solar panels up.
That's more like it.
And I would like to thank you for that, for being so environmentally conscious, and for knowing that, you know, the first step is to realize that it's something that you're doing is not good for the environment. So, you know, realizing that e-waste should be a very prominent issue, realizing that you need solar panels and that that would be better for the environment is a really big step. So I'm very happy about that. And I'm also happy that you didn't put the e-waste outside, because a little bit about how they work is you pretty much can drive up to them, open your trunk, they'll take everything, they'll put it into separate piles, you know, air conditioners, TVs, cell phones, and then they'll properly dispose of it. So that's much better than putting it out in the front and letting it pretty much decay.
It's good to know.
So yeah, before I give my final statement, well, actually, I would like to ask you if you have anything final to say very quickly, either of you.
No more than other than, you know, I'm glad that it turned out the way it did, you know. I'm guilty of some things, but then in turn I've been educated to some other things that I weren't aware of. So I have to look at it as that was a good way for those points to come up, you know, because I am concerned about preserving our society.
Okay. Yeah. And I would like to give my ruling is that, especially since that you realized your environmental mistakes, I guess, I would like to first off make sure that ruling that you go to some of these community meetings, and also that you become a Sister Girls adult volunteer, so that you can learn more about the environment and learn more about how you can be environmentally conscious.
I would like that, Your
So
Honor.
that is my final ruling.
Thank you.
And I'd like to thank you both for coming today.
Thank
and
you.
I'd also like to thank
you to
everybody.
activists.
Yes. And I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and I hope you learned something today and that you take it with you. So I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.